Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing good. I know I am. And so, I think today's video is going to be more a reflective kind of thing. Over the past year, people have been asking me, and I'm not sure if I should take it as a compliment or as an insult, but they've been really questioning me as to how I got into NYU. Keep watching if you want to see how I got into my school. So, rewind back to senior year in high school. I had absolutely no interest in NYU. If anything, I didn't really... Actually, I didn't even know it was... I thought it was a SUNY, honestly. And I had no knowledge of it. I didn't really know anything about the campus or where it was. Well, I knew where it was, but you know. So, in my senior year, I had my heart set on Stony Brook. So Stony Brook it's a SUNY, it's cheaper, it's more of a financial decision, and that was my main choice. I think it was like when I saw one of my friend's computers and he was looking at NYU, I was like, oh, okay, that looks like a cool school. Like New York University sounds really enticing. So after I went online, I looked at their majors, I looked at their campus, and like honestly, what caught my first attention was definitely their website. And it was just cool, and I started doing more research and I became more interested in it. So as I became more interested in it, I started like picturing myself at NYU. The only thing was that I wasn't exactly an overachiever in high school. I had a 3.4 GPA. I only took like 2 AP courses and I passed thankfully with A's in them. And I got like 3 or 4s on the AP exams for each of those courses. So I knew I wasn't exactly like the best fit for NYU. And to make matters worse, I asked my guidance counselor and she told me that it was considered a very stretch of a school for me. Now that was pretty discouraging because I was like, okay, you know, it sucks because now I have my heart set on this amazing school. I've done a lot of research. I looked at programs I could go into. And for someone to tell me that it's a reach school and it wouldn't be likely for me to get into it, I was just like, damn, what am I going to do? So a couple more months later, I took my first SAT. I didn't do that great. I got like a 1640 on it, and I thought my main goal was to get at least a 2000 on it, and I was actually really hoping that I did get a 2000 on it, but I got a 1640. So after that, I ended up enrolling in a SAT course with the Princeton Review, and that helped me. It was like a 4-week long program, and when I went to go take my SAT a second time, I actually went up like 140 points, so I ended up getting like a 1780. I still wasn't that happy with it, but it was a lot better, and all of my scores improved across the board, and it was honestly good. So after I took my SATs, I knew that that wasn't the only part of the application. I had my Common App, and that was another big part of it. NYU's Common App at the time was really long. They had a supplement at the end, which made me hella nervous too. It was something about what makes NYU, what would NYU offer me, and what would I offer NYU. So at the same time, while I was writing my main Common App essay, I also had to worry about the supplement. So fast forward to when I started my essay writing. I started with my Common App essay and I chose the prompt talking about what is a place that I feel most comfortable in and why. And it was actually a really funny story because I knew in my head that when people are looking at these applications, they don't want to hear the typical, oh, I find comfort in my grandma's arms. So I knew that I had to find a way to distinguish myself from everyone else and really stick out. I talked about I found comfort in the shower. It was literally the funniest essay, but it was actually really concise and really sophisticated. I talked about all kinds of mental aspects. I talked about physical aspects and all kinds of things. Now, it was funny because when I wrote my essay, it took me a solid like 3 weeks, and I kind of like handed it in late because I was like so dedicated to making the essay perfect. And it was a bit discomforting when I was talking to my teacher about me taking a shower, essentially. So it was really hard for me to like, you know, have complete control of it in that sense. But I handed it in and it got really good feedback, and it was like more of a philosophical kind of essay, and I took a lot of pride in that. So I stood with that. The writing supplement was definitely challenging because I knew that everyone's gonna talk about, oh, NYU can offer me a nice campus and I can offer NYU a hardworking student. Everybody's going to say that. Everybody's going to say something that everybody's going to say what the admission counselors want to hear. So I decided to actually use my Spanish heritage as a focus point in my essay, and I talked about being that I was a natural city boy. I grew up in the Bronx and I made trips to the city almost every day. I made that a central part of my essay, talking about, I was exposed to different cultures, I was exposed to all the different things I could do in the city, and I was really well-rounded in that sense. So after I finished that essay, I was like, okay, I'm set. Now I just have to send this thing in, pay the $50, send my Common App away, and literally just hope for the best. So while I was, in the coming months, I was just so anxious. I saw people getting accepted to UCLA, people were getting accepted into Yale, and it made me really nervous because actually a couple of my friends that applied early decision had gotten in and they actually got full scholarships. And me seeing that, I was like, oh my god, okay, this is like making me really anxious, and I really couldn't focus in my schoolwork because I was so focused on, am I getting into NYU, am I not getting into NYU? And that's when I decided to do the spiritual approach. So by that, I mean, I created my own visionary board, and I'm gonna show it to you, hold on. So here's my visionary board. It talks about I basically said that I will be accepted into NYU. I will complete my 12 years of getting my, start in medical school and all that stuff. And it was basically just a way of me showing myself that I can do it, that I will do it, and I'm gonna make the best of it. And I remember just every night going up to this and looking at it in my closet and just saying to myself in my mind, I'm gonna do it, they're gonna accept me, and I'm gonna get a great scholarship. A couple weeks later comes May 1st, I think it was May 1st, I completely forgot. And I remember a couple of my friends we had a group text messaging, and they were talking about, oh, at 1 o'clock they're gonna release the emails, and if you don't get it at 1 o'clock, then that means you're accepted. So come 1 o'clock and I didn't get an email, and I'm like, holy crap, what am I going to do? Am I gonna get in? Am I not gonna get in? And finally, around 4:30, which was so freaking ridiculous, having to wait that long with the anxiety building up inside of me, I went on my NYU Albert, which is basically their student portal, and I was like, let me save for something real quickly, and it said that my financial aid package was available, and I was like, what? My financial aid package is available? And I opened it and I literally got a $40,000 scholarship. So after I saw that, I was like, holy freaking shit, I got a scholarship, and I'm like, okay, so that means I'm accepted. So I started texting all of my family members. I was like, oh my god, I got into NYU. I was so excited. And then I went onto my email and I got the email. I was like, oh my god, I saw my admissions decision and it said, congratulations, Mark. On behalf of the admissions at NYU, you have been accepted. I was like, oh my god. I was so happy because, just seeing it, and I kind of knew that, the work and the dedication I put into it actually paid off, and my positivity, prevailed. And I got in. So when I went to my email, I also saw that I was accepted under HEOP. HEOP is basically a program that represents all the underrepresented populations in New York. And now for me, since I'm Hispanic, I am one of the underrepresented, populations here. And to see that I was accepted into a program that basically gave me any help that I needed, they gave me a huge scholarship, and they were basically providing me with all the resources that I would need to do great in school. It was incredible, and I was never more thankful than that in my entire life. It was just surreal for me because here I am, just a couple of months ago, I was set on going to Stony Brook. And literally just, if I hadn't seen my friend's computer, I would have never decided to look up and do some research on New York University. And now, here I am, I'm about to be a sophomore at NYU. I'm doing great, and it's, honestly, I'm living the dream. If there's any advice that I have for anybody, it's, if your counselors ever doubt you, especially when you're looking at colleges, don't ever believe them. Your applications don't make you, your personality makes you, and your hard work makes you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my NYU story. It was really cool to tell you guys. So if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time, and stay sexy. Bye.